Hey guys, how are you? So, if you read, hey guys, so if you read my post, it says elevate yourself and rise above the force of average. So, what's the force of average? The force of average is our little saying in our head that tells us that it's okay to be mediocre, that it's okay to not do these things that we want to do that gets us going and gets us thriving and gets our goat to go to the next level. So that's why I posted that today. So let's go through the questions. Um, let's see. Our name of our first submitter is Ashley Watkins. Question is, what is the best way to scale a personal brand or coaching business? The description: I have a business consultancy. I teach entrepreneurs to leverage digital marketing to grow their business. I feel like I have a strong personal brand and I eventually want to do public speaking and write a book. Now I am doing one-on-one coaching and teaching webinars, but I worry about trying myself to the business and exchange time for money. How do I turn this into an agency that helps startups develop and implement marketing strategies? How does my audience still get me without me? Great question. Many of us deal with this question, especially coaching and entrepreneurs. Um, Scaling our business and branding ourselves are huge. You need to be the leader of what you're teaching. So people need to know you, like you, and trust you. That is huge with branding, and it's about getting your message out to the community. I always say social media is definitely number one. That is really how you get yourself out there and get yourself noticed. Um, so I actually recommend for personal branding and coaching business, I recommend to actually do Facebook groups. I think they're huge because you commingle all the people that are pretty much your audience and they get no advertisement, and you actually can speak to them one-on-one, and you can do live webinars, coaching calls, things like that for free, just to get them to want to work with you one-on-one coaching. Um, Sorry, the background keeps lighting up. I don't know what's wrong. Um, so now you're doing one-on-one webinars. And let's see, I worry about trying myself to the business exchange time for money. How do I turn this into an agency and help startups develop? So this is a strategy that is going to come as you grow. The reason why I say that is because as you grow, you're going to need people to help you, and you're going to need things to implement. And that is how your company and your agency is going to grow. And that's with your growth personally. Doing one-on-ones, I would even say even group coaching is a great way, and I would video it, and then I would start up doing the webinars or selling those online in your platform to work on that and keep moving forward in that way. I hope this helps, but I'm a huge, huge advocate on groups on your Facebook, taking your personal profile, your Instagram profile, your LinkedIn, whatever it may be, and really maneuvering those people into your group, because the group is where you're able to really leverage what you want to sell and what you want to do. The next question is from Nancy Lopez. The question asked was, what business, sales, branding, etc. preparation do I need for my business before I start trying to sell my product to wholesalers? And business description background. I make jewelry. I want to sell it online through other boutiques. What do I need to do to be ready before I start contacting them? I am going to say something that is going to make you uncomfortable, which makes a lot of people uncomfortable. And that is, you're never ready to be ready. Now, before I launch a course, I actually do not have the course out. A lot of times I launch it, I pre-sale it, and then I create the course after I've already pre-saled it. So food for thought. You can make links to your products or your jewelry without necessarily having a website yet. I linked my skincare products before I fully fledged my Shopify account. So when I say be ready to be ready, even if you're not ready, you should still push it out. Still sell and create after. It makes a little bit uneasy, but it puts a little fire under your butt, which gets you motivated to actually push that product out. Another suggestion is there's some people out there that can do some scrubbing for emails, and you can find boutiques, and you can actually personally reach out to those boutiques and see how you can work together with them. That's a great alternative. Another great alternative is people who have boutiques online, or people who sell, like for me instance, I have a couple of skincare clinics, things like that. We're always looking for things to sell out for women to just grab and buy, because women tend to do that a lot. So that's a great avenue to always go after as well. The next question is from Nancy Lopez. Do I have to choose to sell my products only online direct to consumers, or can I also wholesale as well? And what should I look out for when doing so? Business description is, I make jewelry. I'm struggling with who my ideal customer is. I want to sell direct online, but I also would like to see through going wholesalers. Let's see, I like retail boutique. What should I take into consideration if I plan to do both? So this is actually a perfect question for me, because I have a skincare that I have online plus in my clinic. But I also do education for aesthetics and non-laser tattoo removal. So I actually will wholesale my products as well as retail them on my e-commerce store and in my clinic, okay? So you need to make sure that your upsell, your commission base, is going to be enough to where you're going to make a profit margin off of it when you wholesale. My suggestion for you for jewelry is you can probably do a 60 to 70% markup, which is great, because even if you took it as a wholesale and you discounted it, you would still at least probably do a 20% margin off of it, or 10% margin off of it for a wholesale. That is my suggestion. That is what I do for my skincare and my clinics. Next question is Daj Singster. Sorry if I pronounce that wrong. Question is, what is the best way to monetize your new brand? When you stepped away initially and it was an NFP, and now you are for profit. Description: I am in the process of rebranding my business from a former NFP to a for-profit. The focus on social emotional organization wellness and also includes motivation. Having stepped away a great deal with grief and to finish my PhD, I now want to monetize my brand. So I'm going to go back to the question again so it refreshes my brain. What is the best way to monetize your new brand when you step away initially and you're actually doing this for profit now? Personally, my take on doing that is really branding yourself as a leader, like I said before. So if you listened to this before, people want to do business with people that they know, like, and trust. So it's about understanding why that brand is transitioning to a profit brand, the reasoning behind it, why you stand behind it, why you think that this product is something that somebody cannot live without, and what that product is going to do for that person, and how that product is different than the other products that are out there. I don't know exactly what you are selling, but it's an emotional or be doing LinkedIn. I would put as much video content that you can out there to allow people to understand exactly why you stand behind this and why you believe in this. A lot of people are not going to necessarily sit there and read content. People are busy, so most likely they're going to listen as they're driving. So video is always the best way, I feel. The next question, it comes from Morgan Katz. The question is, what strategies do you use to build your network? Business description and background. I work with companies to help them maintain their season tickets to concert venues, sports teams. I am very active on LinkedIn and in-person networking events prior to COVID, but looking for new options to add in. I am looking for ways you use networking groups or associations to develop more relationships or get even more buy-in with large customers. Elevator pitch. We fill the gaps in corporate event ticketing by helping companies manage their season and event tickets. We keep them compliant, provide trackable data while easing the process of season ticket management. I have a great strategy for you, and I've done this in a lot of my companies. I actually reach out to larger scale events. So I belong to the Apex Executives, which is Break Free Academy. I belong to this organization. I belong to the Arete Syndicate. The reason why I say those is because they're worldwide. So you are actually working with people around the world now. It's not just in your neck of the woods. You're actually flying, you're reaching out to different people. Another suggestion is definitely using social media, which I see that you are. You're using LinkedIn, but also joining other people's groups. And the reason why I say that is because when you join other people's groups, you can actually get involved in their groups and comment on what you do, how you can help them, what your organization is about. That is what I highly recommend. I would highly recommend also finding different organizations and groups that you can commingle your business with commingling with their business. Next question again is Daj Sangster. Again, I'm sorry if I demolish your name. Question is, what is the best platform for e-commerce? FBA or Shopify? Also, what is the thought process around choosing products? Choosing what may be popular or something that you may be passionate about. Thanks. Business background. I set up a Shopify store a year ago as a potential side business. It was motivation and inspiration. I made some sales and got some contacts, but I really didn't promote it much. I struggled between FBA and Shopify because I felt some of the products I listed were from overseas, and the arrival times took too long. I hit a dead end. I'm going to go over the question one more time. What is the best platform for e-commerce? And then the next question was, what is the thought process around choosing products and choosing what may be popular versus what I am passionate about? So I have a couple answers for you. When you're passionate about something, you're enthusiastic about it, you can sell more about it because you love it and you live it and you dream it. But it's not necessarily what your consumer is passionate about. So my suggestion to you, and this is what I've always done with my products, is before I launch something, I always ask on my Facebook, my LinkedIn, any profiles, what bothers my clients? What do they want to see? Because sometimes what they want to see is not necessarily what you perceive they want to see. That will give you a good outlook on what you can sell, how you can sell it, and how you can be passionate about it. I'm not telling you not to sell what you're not passionate about. I think you could do both. And I think you'll resonate with both. But that is food for thought. That has always worked for myself. Now, as far as the e-commerce go, that is your call. It depends on what you feel is an easier platform for you to use. I feel for myself, Shopify was much easier, but I still deal with a lot of tricks with Shopify that get a little bit confusing. And a lot of times I have to outsource some of what I'm doing on Shopify to have somebody else organize it, because honestly, it's not worth my time nor my money to spend on that Shopify account. So if that makes sense to you. Next question is from Joe Nugget. The question is, what do you suggest as far as paying independent contractors who I contract to help me facilitate providing my services to my customers? Business background. I own a home inspection business and I am turning away 5 to 8 inspections per week. I'm looking to partner with another inspection company, a solopreneur, who is not as busy so I can make more money while working less. How do I do the billing? Collect from clients and send to other inspection company. Have them collect them and send me a check. So, good questions. Yes. I'll explain. What do you suggest as far as paying independent contractors who I contract to help me facilitate providing my services to my customers? If you're asking me to tell you what you should be paying your independent contractors, that is something that has to resonate with you. Maybe do some research, call around and see what other people pay. It really depends on their experience, and it depends on if they are a good fit for you. Maybe start them off with like increment amount of times, like a 3-month period, a 6-month period, a year period, to see where they're going and their transition and how much you're going to pay them throughout there. I don't know if that was your question. I'm assuming it was. The next question is, if you are turning away 5 to 8 inspections per week and you're looking for a partner, how do you do the billing, collect from clients, inspection company? I do a lot of my stuff with QuickBooks Online. I think QuickBooks Online is a fascinating technology because it links with so many different accounts. Also, anybody who has Shopify, e-commerce, Square, things like that, it all connects with QuickBooks Online. You can bill out, you can do independent contractors, you can take income, you can do your 1099s, you can do anything like that. So I suggest to get in contact with QuickBooks Online and maybe take a little bit of a course and see how you can work through that. That is what I do for my companies, and that's what I do for my 1099s. And I also do it with my clinics and my Shopify. Next question is Karina Stier. The question is, What factors would you take into consideration when deciding between working on your own side hustle versus with your spouse on their business? My husband runs his own videography business that did approximately $250K in 2020. He has no employees, only contractors, no CRM, and does almost all administrative tasks manually. My experience is administrative operations management, so fixing these things, setting up systems, and running behind the scenes were all strengths of mine. That being said, working with a spouse seems like it could have additional challenges, and I'm not fully aware of it. Good question. I own an electrical company with my significant other, and there is challenges, but there's challenges in everything. If he's running 250K and he has no CRM and he hires contractors and he has administrative tasks that he needs help with, he needs an integrator in his company. And from reading your expertise, you are an integrator. He's a visionary. Highly recommend for you to read the book Traction. That being said, I think you guys will make a great team. And another thing being said, you guys don't have to work one-on-one together. You can do all of this from the luxury of your home or in the office. You don't necessarily have to be around him all the time. You guys can get a break. You can still do your side hustle and you can still help him with this business. My feeling is that you're putting a little bit too much emphasis on what if it struggles your relationship, but it also may strengthen your relationship. So always look at the positive of something, because sometimes he needs the help that will launch this brand to become a whole new platform, to where then you can hire somebody to take over some of the stuff that you're doing with the CRM, and you can train them, which allows you now to make your side hustle another source of income. I hope that helped. Next question is Ashley Watkins. The question is, when hiring other coaches to scale a coaching business, should they be partners, independent contractors, or employees? I launched a coaching business this year to help startups organize, strategize, and digitally market their business. I have been helping clients one-on-one walk through their planning phases, set goals, and put together digital marketing strategies. So far, my clients love the mindset work and business strategies. I'm like a little version of AO in my own way. I love it. I put together my service hierarchy. I would still like to offer premium one-on-one coaching for those who want it. I am thinking I could train other coaches to walk through owners through these stages. But would these coaches be employees or independent contractors? Great question. I think you can utilize this in different platforms. And the reason why I say this is, if you have an employee, I don't know what state you're in, but you're going to have more logistics if you have an employee, right? So I know I'm in lovely California. So our logistics of having an employee are quite drastic. So I have to provide workman's comp. I have to provide sick time. I have to provide, there's this whole slew of having to provide things if they're an employee versus a contractor. Since this is an online company, I personally would say independent contractors are the best. It depends on your state, and it depends on how it's set up and how you can do that. What I do in my clinic, which would help you in this business, I'm assuming, is when I take a girl on board and I train her one-on-one, she is making commission as an independent contractor. Now you have to check the state that you're in and the legality of it. She is an independent contractor on a commission basis. So what she brings in, she gets paid commission, but I'm training her to take over more. So as she's training and she understands what your hierarchy is, what your protocol is, what your expectations are, she eventually starts making more money as an independent contractor that's working for you, if that makes sense. That is how I run my clinics, to the point to where when they're at a point to where I feel like they've gotten it dialed in and they're good, I bump them to a great commission. Then I start adding more onto that. So I will give them little perks. I'll take them away. I'll do little things for them, things that they cannot get on their own having a consulting company. So then that way you're building your company as a team, a core value. You're offering them way more than what they can on their own. So I hope that helps that question. Next question is from Sanel Perviv. Question is, if you have some extra cash in business, what would be your next move to grow the business? Business description background. I'm in title searching business. We provide B2B services. Our clients are title insurance companies. Okay, so if you have some extra cash in the business, what would be your next move to grow the business? So that is kind of an open-ended question. And it really depends on what your outlook is on the business and where you see yourself in the business. If you want to, I don't know if your business is online. Oh, it's B2B services. So if you want to grow the business with doing that, I would say you're probably going to want to take that money and start really pushing into more marketing, more advertising, more getting your name out there, more recognition, so then that way you can start growing your client base. Next question comes from Jessica Mateer. Question is, how can I determine my target audience? What if I have more than one? How can I go about reaching different target groups? My business is a wellness company specializing in yoga, meditation, and mindfulness. Great question. So, my business correlates with beauty, fitness, healthcare, beauty products, nutrition. It's a slew of things that I'm commingling into one, right? You don't have to commingle them into one. I have 3 Instagrams, I have 3 Facebooks, I have 3 Facebook groups, and each one serves a purpose. But on my website, it's all commingled into one platform of what I offer. I highly recommend, it's completely up to you, I don't know, but listening to what you're saying, that you have yoga, meditation, and mindfulness, it all commingles together. So you can brand it separately if you want to, but it might be more of a headache for you to do that because it's going to put more work on you and more stress on having all these different groups where you can actually commingle them and really work on that. Because honestly, someone who is even business savvy, whatever it may be, they are into mindfulness. If they're into mindfulness, they're probably into yoga. They're probably into meditation. They're probably into bettering themselves as an individual. So my feedback would always brand yourself together with that. And it's okay to be open to different concepts in branding yourself in the wellness. So I hope that helps you in that one. Next question is Brad Coleman. Brad's question is, what do you recommend for a guide on how to post via social media? Tips, tricks, books to follow. Question. Hello, I own an e-commerce luxury brand and I would like to know your input on posting for your social channels. Any recommendations, books, guides, channels to follow for tips? My name is Brad Coleman, founder of Carbon Thread Design, a luxury auto sport apparel fashion brand that creates and designs apparel for auto enthusiasts while incorporating carbon fiber into our designs. Okay, good question. So, media tips, tricks, books to follow. If you're just starting out, which you are with the brand, I would really look at social media that you like, that you gravitate towards, that is getting a good following, that's getting a good feedback. I think I posted this last time to you. There's a lot of apparel companies that are out that are great that you can follow. Getting tips and tricks from them. As far as books and knowledge, I don't know any books off the top of my head. I follow a lot of people on social media just because I like their content and I like what they post, and it gives me ideas to post things. Reels are phenomenal, videos are phenomenal. Honestly, it's about your passion. It's about getting your word out there. Why you created this line, why you're passionate about it. Explain that to people. That is what gets people involved. That's what links people to you, because they go, oh, I get it. I get why he's creating that. That is why I want to follow him. That is why I want to buy from him. That is why I want to be educated by him. It's you throwing your passion out to those people on all social media platforms. And one social media platform isn't better than another. Everyone is different, and it depends on your following on every single one. I am on every single platform that you can possibly find. Another great thing to do, if you can do it, is in Upwork. I go to Upwork a lot, and I find social media people in Upwork to help me. And they will help me do some branding. They'll help me post on social media. They'll help me do my YouTube. They'll do the SEO on YouTube. They'll do the SEO on my Shopify. So I pay them to go in and help me with a lot of these different things. And Upworks, it's super cheap. So you can find people, in India. You can find people in, Vietnam, things like that, that can get on board and help you with these things to just push you a little bit more into the realm that you need to go. The next question is Liv Gruber. How do you pay yourself from your business? I am going to start paying myself and want to know the best way to do so. Should I be paid as a W-2 employee, a 1099 contractor, or is there another strategy? Our company is an LLC. Good question. So my company is an LLC. I'm going to recommend that you talk to your CPA or your accountant first. I'm not a CPA or an accountant, and so I don't want to give you advice that is going to mess up any of your taxes or anything at the end of the year for you. But I will speak on my behalf and what I do. I have a couple LLCs, and I actually pay myself with a W-2 as an employee. I pay myself the minimum that I can pay myself, because you get other perks with, having to take, say, a leave of absence, anything like that. Say something happens to your business, you can collect unemployment. There's other perks with doing that, but I'm not a CPA. I am not an accountant. I don't feel like I can advise you on what you should be doing. Those are my suggestions. So the next question is from Ashley LaTourneau. Hopefully I'm saying it correctly. Sorry, sweetheart. Any advice on developing a product line? Business question and background. I own a cleaning company and had an opportunity to create eco-friendly cleaning products. I have no idea what to expect or what to plan for. Looking for any generic advice. Good girl. Like I said before, just do it and create it. It will come to you. Create it. If you have a chance to create an eco-friendly cleaning product, and developing a product line, you should probably do some research. Question for you is, are you going to build the product from scratch on your own? And if you are, you need to look at the cost of that. Are you going to be purchasing like a wholesale and selling it yourself through a line? I know a lot of times for people that are just starting out in that industry or any other type of industry, it's easier to go through somebody who already wholesales it, makes it, and then you distribute it. But if you're going to build it yourself, you need to look at that. So that's my answer to that. My thing is that if you have a chance and you have that passion and you want to do it and create it, go for it. Do it. Next question is Aniza, and I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry, Fajardo. Question is, how can I add value to someone of high caliber? Real life example. I am going to see Sharon Letcher next month, and we will bond, and she will provide lots of value to me. I would like to do the same for her, but don't know how to add value to her life. Business description and background, you're a financial coach. So how do you provide someone of high caliber from you? Good question. I have a lot of mentors and coaches that are extreme high caliber compared to myself. They still look for me for advice. I'm going to give an example. I was on Clubhouse just the other day, and Bree from the morning Clubhouse talked about how she went and spoke at a conference filled with billionaires. She's not a billionaire. And it's almost like, I hate to say that imposter syndrome because I do not like that language. But I always say that we all have it. Even if somebody is higher caliber, they still have issues like we have. We're human, right? We all have the saga that goes through our head of maybe we're not good enough, or I shouldn't talk about myself too much because I don't want to be bragging. There's a lot of us that have that, and if you think that people with money or status are any different than we are, they're not. So you need to go in this knowing that you have it, that you're there, you're at that caliber, you're at that level, you own that. You're in that realm. They put you there because you belong there. So I don't know if that answers you, but I hope that helps you because you belong there. You wouldn't be there if you didn't belong. Next question is from Carrington Crothers. Is guest posting a suitable way to market your business? I am a commercial product photographer where I provide companies with photography for e-commerce, marketing, social media, etc. I have been looking into marketing techniques and came across guest posting, which I had not heard of before. I wasn't sure if this is something that is worth trying and continuing to look into, or if there are alternative marketing techniques you suggest to broaden your audience. My honest feedback, guest posting, I think is incredible because you get affirmation from other people than just yourself. So I know this is a short-ended question or answer to a question, but I say yes. I think it's a great way to market your business, and I think you should try different avenues. I think it's a really great thing. Next question is from Kristen Lattice. And the question is, what do you do when a client has not paid the remaining balance from a project completed over 2 months ago? I am a copywriter for an online entrepreneur. I completed website copy for a client. She paid 50% upfront, but has not paid the last 50%. She does not answer my DMs or emails. So, good question. I'm going to take a drink of water. There's a couple ways you can handle this. And I do this with my business, all of them. How much are you losing in this? Is it worth the struggle? Is it worth the fight? B, if it is worth the struggle and it is worth the fight and it is a good amount of money, then I would probably seek legal counsel. Another thing is that making sure that your contract is completely up to date before you do this, and make sure that they've signed the contract, so then that way they know that they are legally responsible for the money that's going forth. I personally would email them, and I would personally send them a letter in the mail as well, so you have document, and make sure you send it certified. But my other comment is, if it's not worth that much money and it's been more of a headache for you, you need to take into consideration if it's worth it for you. And I say that because sometimes dealing with certain clients, it's easier to walk away and let it go than to deal with the aftermath of dealing with that client. So it depends a lot on how you feel in that situation. So for me, there's been times that I have actually done legal action, and there's times that I've actually walked away because it's not worth it. So this is actually a question that you really have to ask yourself, if it's worth it, if it's not worth it. Next question is Christine Lattice. Should I invest money into more solid branding right now? Logo, brand colors, fonts. I am a copywriter for an online entrepreneur who launch new office products and need marketing copy to sell. I've used a DIY logo and random fonts for the past 2 years, but want something sustainable moving forward so people recognize me right away. Elevator pitch. I write sales copy for online coaching, launches, products, services who want to grow their business through persuasive writing. So again, the question is, should I invest money into more solid branding right now? Logos, brand, colors, fonts. My feedback on that is it depends where you are in your business. If you are having cash flow to where you have extra revenue during the month and you have the means of income to put into branding and logoing and things like that, I think it's very, very important. You want people to know your colors. You want people to know who you are. You want people to see that branding and know that's exactly you and what that is. But it's the timing, right? You can do some of these things yourself. You can go on Canva. You can create branding yourself. You can do a lot of this yourself as a beginning entrepreneur. But if you feel like you're at the level where you're ready to take a step ahead and go beyond and actually have a marketing company come in and help you, that helps a lot. I actually have a marketing company that comes in and helps me to brand everything that I put out, because that is their specialty. That is their niche. And that is helping me to create the brand that I have going forward. I have that on every single company that I have. But there was a time and place when I first started that I had to do it myself. I had to go on Canva. I had to create my logo. I had to create my branding. I had to do everything myself to where I started to get an ROI back from what I was doing. And then now it's to the point to where I don't have to do that anymore. I can hire a marketing team to do everything that I need to put it in effect to go forward. So just know there's a right time and a right place in your company. And if you feel like you're at the point where you're ready to make that step and to make that leap, to put the money in there, I highly recommend that you do that, because it will help your company and it will help your branding. But if you feel like you have the time, you can do it yourself. There's no reason why you can't do it yourself. But when you get to a point to where your ROI is really good and you have that extra income, it's worth taking a leap of faith, hiring a great marketing team to help you excel to the next level. So that, I believe, is all my questions. So I hope that I helped you guys today, and I look forward to doing this every month. I actually greatly appreciate it, and I love it, and I love giving back, and I love helping people. So with that, make today an amazing day, and remember what I said: elevate yourself and rise above the force of average, because average is not what you want to be in this world. So make it a great day, you guys. Have an amazing, amazing week.